Do you feel like the last week or two has been a hard time in your life? Well, I know it has been for me. It has been a rough ride. There is so much energy and polarity going on in my life and in the world around me, and I've seen it in others as well. It's very clear that we moved into this new moon a little more than a week ago, is that things shifted into a higher gear. And as I was seeing the energies for March, it was clear that it could be very chaotic like this, but there's also that potential for magic. Within our own lives, there's potential to tap into a greater sense of purpose and peace in the moment, and knowing that what's here in our life is here for a reason. And that there's a deeper truth, a deeper possibility, a deeper potential that can come through in any moment if we can really tap into the truth of who we are and live more powerfully from this place within ourselves, engaging life from that deeper place. And so I want to share with you 3 things to help you make the most of this coming equinox energy, and as we move in towards this full moon eclipse coming up this weekend. And these 3 things, these 3 energetics can help you to amplify your power and your potential to find more peace and abundance and whatever it is you're really working on in your life, what's being reflected and causing you pain and turmoil in your life. That there's a path through that. So these 3 things are going to really help you to find this greater clarity and potential in your life. So let's go take a look at the rhythm first and see just where we are with the energetics of what's going on right now. All right, so here we are looking at the rhythm. And in this rhythm, we are looking at the constellations and the planets as they really are in the sky. So I've come to realize in this last year that the way we're looking at astrology in the Western system is not true to what's actually in the stars. And to me, this was a revelation, realizing that this was another layer, another framework that's on top of society, the Western tropical system that used to be correct, used to be in alignment with how things really are in the cosmos. But we put it into a rigid system, and that has slowly shifted off of what's really true in time. And we can see how in our own lives and in the world we're living, we've shifted off away from that alignment to nature and to the truth of how things really are. And so what a beautiful opportunity to realign ourselves back to the cosmos, back to the natural order of things, of nature. And so that's what I built this system for, is to help me and help you to live in to the true rhythm of reality and to find that rhythm, that power inside of ourselves, because I know that that's the place that brings us alive. That's the place that creates magic and synchronicity and power and helps us transform those things that are showing up in our life. It's this power of this rhythm of our soul and this alignment to reality, because we are one with that. And all this dissonance of the energies and all the things that show up in our lives are all when we're out of attunement, out of alignment with that core self. And in the dance of the cosmos and all the planets, and we can see them here, there's all these different energetics, all these different things happening within ourselves. How do we come back into alignment? How do we bring ourselves back into this core, into our heart, into the source, and live from that place? Be more responsive in our actions to life, working with the trauma and the dissonance and the things showing up from this place of power within. That's what this work is all about, helping us to reattune to that natural alignment, to that rhythm. So what I see here, this is for today, March 19th, the equinox. Tonight at 9:06 of Mountain Time. And here we have the moon moving towards this full in a few days, sitting over here in Cancer in the sky. And as she moves into that full moon, she'll be over here in Leo when we hit that eclipse. And so I'll share another video in the next couple days around the energetics of what will be happening there and how can we find a greater potential. And right now the sun's sitting here, sitting with Neptune. And this is what I find interesting about the planets right now. So we can see the moon here, Pluto over here, Mars here, and then otherwise all of these synchronous events going on right now, these different planets coming together, having Venus and Jupiter coming together, Neptune and the Sun, the North Node Chiron and Mercury all coming into this alignment, this conjunction, as we're heading towards April where this Jupiter and Uranus event happens. So I feel like we are going through some very significant and unique energetic alignments of the planets as we move into this eclipse season, and this equinox that we're in right now as this moon is moving towards full. And the power, the different polarizing energetics showing up in our life, reflecting our trauma and our darkness and the patterns, the dissonance in us that is wanting to be healed, wanting to be brought back into this alignment with this rhythm within. And so I'm just going to look at some of these source codes. Now these are ancient wisdom, 5,000-year-old wisdom of the I Ching that I've been working with and in love with for over 20 years now. And following the path of the wisdom of the I Ching and continuing to ask, how do I help others? How do I help humanity to come back into this alignment? Because I know this is where our power is, inside ourselves, and in aligning to that truth within ourselves, and in that truth in relationship to reality. And this rhythm, this way of being in the world, where the real peace and the power and the love that we are comes through. And I keep asking, how can I help? And this has led me on this path of this journey in discovering and attuning this wisdom of the rhythm and these source codes. And that's what these numbers are around the outside of the zodiac. This channeled wisdom of attuning to those energetics throughout time. So as we move through time, we move through these different source codes, and each one is a very powerful energetic to help activate and align us to that truth within ourselves. And often by showing us the opposite of what is our potential. So we can see ourselves, see the darkness. So the sun right now sitting in this code 30, this source code 30. Inspire, shining like the sun, spreading love everywhere. I am luminous, and to be the source of love. And if you look at the opposite of that, it's to not inspire, not being the source of love. It's darkness, the lack of love, the lack of self, not being the source, not radiating anything. That's often where we are, stuck in these lower energetics. So how can we come back into the heart and really connect to this energy, the sun energetic in our lives, and allow that light to shine, to really be the source of love? This is our challenge. And as we move through here, about 6 days, almost 6 days, as the sun moves through each energy, and Neptune being about our dreams and imagination and this creativity and spirituality, all these things coming into play. But how are we getting lost in our illusions and being escaping life instead of really confronting it? And I'm just showing you here that you can click on these inside the rhythm and learn a little bit more about each of the planets if you want to find your own attunement to what's going on. So over here, we've got Mercury, Chiron in the North Node. Very powerful alignment happening here. The North Node being that direction, that guiding light that we're always reaching for, always moving towards our North Star. And so what are the energetics for you, the unique North Node energy in your chart, in your rhythm, and what source code comes with that? Well, right now it's sitting in this Pisces energy and in this 63, which I'll open up soon. And the Chiron is about showing us our greatest wound that can become our greatest gift. So in order to reach towards our potential, to reach towards that North Star, that North Node, We've got to work with the darkness and that wound. So what's showing up in your life? What's making you crazy right now? How do you see down into that? See the patterns of how that's been showing up through the rhythms of your time, of your existence here. And what's being asked of you now? If you can heal that, if you can allow that to become your gift, what would that move you towards? And how does that guide you towards that North Star light? And Mercury being there is all about how do you express that? And in your thoughts, how do you attune your mind into this heart, into this truth of who you are? Allowing this gift, the real power of that Chiron energy to come through you. And through these new potentials of Pisces and dreams, imaginations, and really expanding your intuition and artistic abilities. This innovation. Well, the source code that they're sitting in is this perfection. It's realizing that everything is perfect as it is. It's really to surrender into this trust, deep trust. But if your mind is fighting against what is, this wound that's showing up, these things, if you're just trying to fight it and resist it and make it be what you want and trying to force it to change, and boom, your mind is against what is. And that wound is going to continue to just grow, become more problematic. How do you really surrender that and allow? And the moon sitting in this Cancer around our emotions, almost opposing Pluto, this transformative energy, forcing us to confront our darkness and see what's really going on inside ourselves in this emotional body. The moon being our emotional body, Cancer being all around those emotions, and the home and security, sitting in this humbleness. This is the source code. Being what I am, loving what is, I am devotion. And I honor the divine in you. How can you really come to seeing that all those things and those people that are confronting you, they are the divine, they are you? How do you come into this true namaste, this true humbleness, devotion? Just allowing, praising. They're here for a reason. It's happening for a reason. The opportunity to transcend that through devotion, through love, through surrender, and that perfection. So these are some of the energetics going on right now within the planets and the stars and in these source codes of our potential. And so let's take a look at this, another tool at B-Source. It's called the compass. And in the compass, I have some different activations. There's just a one code activation, or what we're going to do here is this triad energy. So these are going to be 3 energetics, 3 things, 3 messages. And this is for the collective, for all of those tuning in, and for this like collective energy of humanity, for all of those of us who are on this team, this team of transformation of the new earth, bringing in the energy of the new earth, embodying that potential of our true source and that alignment to nature, to the cosmos, to reality, and to finding that rhythm within ourselves. How do we make the most of the energetics going on right now? And so in this triad reading, we have a shadow and a light and the integration. So we're going to look at the shadow first and ask, what's going to help us to make the most of the energetics that are happening right now in our lives? How do we expand this energy of the new earth? And the first one we get, number 19, slowly I am respect. Nearing the goal, approaching with reverence. That every moment is sacred. And what this code is saying, when we're looking at the shadow, and I'm just opening it up so you can see the beauty of this mandala. Each one of these is made from nature, from photographs of sunlight coming through the water and the ice crystals in the rivers of here in Colorado. Put into this sacred geometry, fractal patterns, to help amplify the energies and to help your consciousness to attune to this particular energetic. And this one is about slowing down and realizing you're right there. You're right at the goal. Like you're about to break through the finish line, but you haven't yet. You're just right there. So don't lose it. Don't forget what you're doing, what you're about to achieve, that you've been searching for, you've been dreaming into, you've been working so hard on. And all these things have been in your way, all these obstacles and all these things you had to move through and to keep going towards your dreams. And you're right there. Just slow down and be aware of that. Stay in this place of respect and seeing that every moment is sacred. That whatever's showing up is here for a reason. Can you see the namaste? Can you allow that to come through? Can you tap into your heart and really feel the source of love within you? Because the shadow, the opposite of that, is to not be in that. To be fighting to make that finish line, of trying to force everything to be how you want, when you want it. And to feel like it's so far off, you're never going to get there. There's too many obstacles. But it's just right here. Just got to cross the line. But you got to do it with an open heart. Surrender and trust. And in that courage to keep going. And what's going to help do that? What polarity, what light energy can help us to achieve that in our life? And we get 38, compassion. Honoring the diversity of all life, creating healthy boundaries, I am kind, and to cultivate loving kindness. And this is very similar to that humble and devotion code. And what it's saying is that there is actually lots going on in your life. All kinds of things demanding your energy and encroaching in your personal space. And true compassion is to love all things, to be that source of compassion and love. Like the Dalai Lama, the love and kindness is your religion. But it's also to declare your sovereign space, your energy, that you are holy, you are worthy. And you may need to draw some lines with some people or some things in your life to create some healthy boundaries around your sovereign power. So in order to really achieve who you are, it's both and what you're striving to create, experience, to have in your life. It's both about surrendering and knowing you're just almost right there. And can you stay in this place of namaste? Loving all things that arise, but also defining your sovereign space, your power. What's really important to you, but not in an opposing, dividing way, but in a all is one kind of way. And this is what's true for me. This is what I really need right now. It's very important. And so the third energetic that we can bring in to really help us to make the most of this equinox energy is this integration code. Bringing the balance. We have the shadow and the light. Learning to slow down and just really know that we're right there, trusting in that, defining this sovereign space and having compassion for all of life because we're in our power, we're in our truth. And what's this third energy? We get 53, auspicious. Noticing the world around me, one step at a time, and I am listening. All in perfect timing. So this is sort of like that slowly code. That we need to keep listening and be aware and to take action when the timing's right, when things align. This is a very auspicious time. The planets are aligning. The moon's coming into alignment with the sun and with the earth. We're in these great rhythms of all these planets coming together in these unique alignments in different energetics happening within us, within our consciousness. Can we really listen? Can we really notice what's going on in this moment? Paying attention to that and allowing that to guide us in this flow, that all things can happen in their perfect timing. So there's the three energetics to help you attune to that source within, to bring balance and integration to these different polarities within yourself of the shadow and the light. The path to integrating all that is through listening, attuning, and noticing the signs, the rhythm, because life is moving and responding to you, guiding you, flowing with you. There is a way, there is a path. So as we move towards this full moon eclipse coming this weekend, how can you stay in this place of namaste and listening and being aware and allowing your dreams to come to you, allowing all those things you've been working on to come into your experience because they're just right here, wanting to be here. So there's the energetics for today. I'm wishing you much love and peace in these rocky and powerful, emotional, energetic times. And I know as we can attune more and more deeply to this rhythm of the cosmos, this rhythm within ourselves, helping to expand the energy of love and compassion and potential and peace on the planet as we expand this new earth energy together. Wishing you much love, many blessings.